AEW president Tony Khan has given his thoughts on the WWE return of Cody Rhodes, and a current WWE champion has been released from the company. But first, let's discuss some news coming out of last night's episode of AEW Dynamite, where two more participants have advanced through to the Owen Hart Foundation tournament. The show would see two qualification matches, with the first pitting the debuting Samoa Joe against the Acclaim's Max Caster, who had some fighting words for his opponent during his pre-match rap. Caster would take shots at Joe's past in TNA wrestling, calling himself Main Event Max, while Joe is X Division. He'd also call him injury prone, while ending with a dig at Samoa Joe's run as NXT champion during the Wednesday Night Wars, with AEW winning the ratings during that time. Unfortunately for Max, the match lasted just about as long as his freestyle, with Joe finishing him off in less than 3 minutes with a muscle buster, marking the Samoan Submission Machine's AEW debut with a victory. Later in the night, the second qualifier would take place, this time for the women's side of the bracket. Hikaru Shida would battle Julia Hart, who is no relation to Owen, for a spot in the tournament, with Shida walking away with the win after hitting a Falcon Arrow on her opponent. The former AEW Women's World Champion is the third woman to qualify, joining Toni Storm and Jamie Hayter. Following the match, the next qualifier for the women's side of the bracket was announced, with current Ring of Honor star Willow Nightingale taking on Red Velvet, with the match airing this Friday on AEW Rampage. And speaking of AEW Women's World Champions, Thunder Rosa is set to make her first title defense. Last night it was announced that Rosa will put her title on the line against former Women's Champion Nyla Rose, with the match taking place at the upcoming Battle of the Belts event. Battle of the Belts 2 will go down on April 16th and will be the second ever AEW TNT special. Rosa will be looking for revenge after Nyla spoiled her championship celebration in her home state of Texas, this following her title win against Britt Baker the week before. This will be Thunder Rosa's first defense of her newly won belt, having won it 3 weeks ago at the St. Patrick's Day edition of AEW Dynamite, pinning Britt Baker inside a steel cage. But do you think Rosa will retain her title at Battle of the Belts? Let me know in the comments down below. Now let's go to another story from AEW Dynamite as we look at who walked away as Ring of Honor and AAA World Tag Team Champions. FTR would defend both of their titles against longtime rivals the Young Bucks in the second encounter between the two teams. The duos would previously meet at AEW Full Gear 2020, with the Bucks walking away as the new AEW World Tag Team Champions. But this time around, FTR were able to come out on top despite the Bucks cheating behind the referee's back. FTR have been AAA World Tag Team Champions since October 2021, defeating the Lucha Brothers on AEW Dynamite, with this being their fourth defense of their titles. They would win the Ring of Honor tag belts at this past weekend's Super Card of Honor show, defeating the Briscoes. Last night was their first defense of their Ring of Honor belts, as we continue the Tony Khan era of ROH. The scores are now even between FTR and the Young Bucks, with a trilogy match likely to happen at some point in the near future. Now let's go to some WWE news, as the next NXT call-ups may have been revealed. According to Fightful Select, plans for both LA Knight and Raquel Gonzalez have been pitched, with them potentially heading to Raw or SmackDown. Whilst it was noted that Gonzalez is expected to be called up by most people in NXT, Knight's future isn't so certain. One of the pitches for LA Knight's call-up includes a potential role as a manager rather than a wrestler due to his ability on the microphone. It's not known if this will be the direction WWE will eventually go with, but it was pitched at some point. On top of this, NXT faction Imperium look like they're going to be splitting to allow for a call-up for two of the members, with SmackDown their likely destination. The pitch is said to have involved two of the group's 3 members, with Gunther and Marcel Bartel being in line for a call-up, but not Fabian Eichner. This past Tuesday on NXT, Fabian would walk out on Bartel during their tag match against the Creed brothers, which could be explained by the upcoming call-up, with him not being in the main roster plans. Fightful have been told that the plan ever since Walter, or Gunther, moved to the United States was for him to eventually end up on the main roster, and it looks like we could be close. Next up, a WWE superstar has continued to take shots at All Elite Wrestling. This past Saturday, Seth Rollins would take on the returning Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 38 Night 1, and during the match, Rollins would mock his opponent, telling the former AEW wrestler, "Welcome back to the big leagues." This week, Rollins would appear on the Gorilla Position YouTube channel for an interview where he would double down on his remarks. First, he would discuss how he felt in the moment as Cody Rhodes made his way to the ring, with him revealing that he is happy for the American Nightmare, and he would say, "I always tell people those big stadium events, the ring is like the eye of the hurricane. It's very calm. Maybe it's because it's kind of like my Zen place, but whatever reason, it feels very calm to me. It was very surreal watching him come down the ramp. Knowing everything he's been through the last 6-7 years, everything that he came back for, it was very cool. It was cool to see the reaction. I was in many ways happy for him." The shots at AEW would then emerge as he explained how WWE is the premier wrestling company in the world, referring to AEW as Rinky Dink, and he would say, "I said it to him last night, I said it before. This WWE is the premier professional wrestling company on the planet. I know, don't say professional wrestling, doesn't matter. We have the best in the world, and now we have Cody Rhodes on top of that, and he is joining that club. If you want to be the best, don't go play rinky dink, come here. We are the best." Top notch across the board. I'm not taking anything away from anybody else who is anywhere else. I love it. Do what you want. You guys are tremendous. There's great talent out there, but this is where you are the best. This is where you find out if you can hack it on the top level. But what do you make of Seth Rollins' comments towards AEW, and do you agree that WWE is the top level? Let me know in the comments down below. Now we have some news regarding a former WWE star who has reportedly been involved in a fatal car crash. Tammy Sytch, also known as Sunny, is said to have caused a car crash on March 25th that led to the death of another driver. Ormond Beach police have stated that Sytch failed to stop while driving, leading to her crashing into a stopped car. The hit vehicle would then crash into another vehicle in front of it. A man inside the vehicle that Tammy hit is said to have been pronounced dead after being transported to the Halifax Health Medical Center. Sytch is also said to have been transported to the same hospital but was later released, with blood samples being taken to see if she had been impaired at the time of the collision, with results still pending. The results of the samples could lead to criminal charges if it's found that she is under the influence. Sunny is yet to comment publicly regarding the crash that is said to have taken place on Friday, March 25th at 8:28 p.m. Next up, AEW President Tony Khan has reacted to Cody Rhodes' WWE return. Speaking with Justin Barrasso of Sports Illustrated ahead of this week's episode of AEW Dynamite, Khan would be asked about Cody's jump from AEW to WWE. He would admit that he has lost a top talent, but he would point out some recent AEW signings that he feels balances things out, and Tony would say, "I did lose a very prominent free agent, but we're debuting one tonight in Samoa Joe. In the past 30 days, we've also debuted Toni Storm, who was incredible last week in her win against the Bunny, and Jeff Hardy, one of the biggest stars in wrestling. We have a lot of excitement happening here, and that's our focus." This interview follows recent claims from Cody that he and Khan had drifted apart and had begun to disagree on a number of topics. Either way, AEW will be fine without Cody Rhodes, and WWE have acquired a talent who has quickly become the top babyface on Raw due to the nature of his signing, and it seems like a win-win for both parties. And finally, WWE have made another release after accusations of abuse. NXT superstar Nash Carter has reportedly been let go from the company, this according to Fightful. Carter was a member of the MSK tag team alongside Wes Lee, who were just crowned NXT Tag Team Champions Stand and Deliver this past Friday. The release follows an accusation by his wife and Impact Wrestling star Kimber Lee, who posted photos of marks on her face which she claimed were caused by Nash. On the other hand, the wife of Nash's former tag team partner has come to his defense, taking to Twitter to claim that he is innocent and that Kimber Lee is guilty of slander and defamation. According to Marie, Nash filed for divorce this past Monday and has been living with her and his tag team partner as of late. It's believed that Nash has recently entered a relationship with fellow NXT star Gigi Dolan, who took to Twitter to seemingly react to the news, simply writing, "This world makes me sick." Of course, we'll have to wait for any legal proceedings to take take place before things can become clearer, but for now Nash finds himself out of WWE with him being stripped of his NXT tag title. As well as the accusations, Kimberly would post a picture of Carter imitating Adolf Hitler, which may have been enough for WWE to distance themselves from the performer before legal actions are finalized. As of this recording, neither WWE nor Nash Carter have commented on the release. And before you go, make sure you check out 10 things that you didn't know about AEW's Hook.